Yes, Infamous Hearts. Do you need help to rename or you okay? Welcome, King LNG.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Sunday, it's cloudy, but we are happy. Let me see. Welcome, Sister Janet. We have two Janets.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm wondering, do you have two?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sister Nadine, welcome. Wow, Sister Rufus, welcome, welcome. Queen Rufus. Okay, I can see that Queen Carla is here. Rachel. Or Rachel, if I want to call you in French.
Exactly. Yes. Rachel in French, and Rahel, as my mother will call me. Thank you, Queen Nado. Happy Sunday to everyone.
We have the countdown going on. I can see the countdown for you.
Happy Sunday, Queen Carla. Happy Sunday.
We have 6 minutes left.
Oh. I see the YouTube countdown is on.
Yes.
5 is
and I open my eyes, it's gone to 5.
we are already on you.
That is amazing. I'm putting on my phone now to watch.
On YouTube already live.
Oh wow, Dr. Z is right there ready.
They love to see that no matter what is happening, there's still joy in this group. Yeah. If we want to put our finger inside everybody's heart now, I figure my bad, but no, we still cool off in the face.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, welcome everyone. We need to be happy. Nigeria is in first today. I think the network is working fine.
Yes, it does look that way. Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people are showing up steadily. Very nice. We're lucky today.
Yeah. We got 4 more minutes for the countdown. So anybody who want to say hi, yeah, Sister Lerato is on the way.
I am here, sis. I just came.
Welcome. I was at the airport for a long time. I'm like, when are you going to come down?
Yes, sorry, I didn't hear you.
I haven't seen Queen Aisha in a while. Greetings, Queen Aisha. See, there you are. Nice to see you.
That's why she came in like very easy. She said she was coming from events. So,
okay.
Yeah. Was looking for this name. Yeah.
It's good to have all the leaders who have been away for a while, and everyone who will be joining in today. Oh, wow.
You see Sister Delphine?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Queen Aisha is looking ready.
Mojarola? Yeah.
Welcome, Queen Delphine.
Hi, welcome. Welcome, sister. Yeah, Sister Edith. It looks like you went, you took the free fly and then you came back.
Yes, if I may ask, who is in Phoenix Hot 11 Play? Can you rename yourself or tell us who you are and we can rename you properly? Who is in Phoenix Hot 11 Play, please?
He's the host.
Oh, is you Dr. Pat? No, it's not him. It's not. Yeah, Dr. Pat, the host is there. I can see her.
But there's another host.
There can only be one host in Zoom.
Yeah. Infinix Hot 11 Play, please, if you can respond on, you can talk or you can send a text. We need to know who you are, please.
Thanks for helping. I asked him so many times. Or her, nothing.
The mic is open, so which means they are able to talk.
Hot 11 Play. Help us here. The countdown.
Respond.
All right, welcome everyone. Some housekeeping. I'm going to remove the mic.
Okay.
Sis, can you make Queen Yvonne co-host? Queen Yvonne is still showing up another co-host.
Because I did make that call.
Not yet.
So, welcome everyone. Today is a new day, new beginning, new week is starting, and the year is coming to an end. We continue to trust the Almighty God that we will step into a new month with this, and we will step into 2026, nothing new, nothing different. So, without wasting time, we're going to start with our signature tune. Make sure we make it to us by our own very sister, Lerato Shadare. I love that voice. Oh my goodness, let me play that and see. So I want to be stupid. Isn't that
We are here, shining bright into the future. We rise high with one heart and revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn. We are the stars. In it to win it. 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 Bringing hope, shining the light. We're a nation, we are rising with one love, with one hope, bringing solution, lifting up humanity. Let's rise high, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn. We are the stars.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
We're in it to win it. When there's, I hope I'm muted. I'm on mute. One say we should stand clear of closing door, means stand clear of any negativity. That's how I look at it. Any negativity, anything that will stop your success, stand clear of it. So before we start, some housekeeping. I'm going to unmute everybody's mic, not because we don't want you to participate. This is a gym team. We like everybody to participate. We're all one family. But just because sometimes you have phone calls come in and it tends to unmute you, I want to hear everybody speak. As we're waiting for our speaker to come in, she'll be in with us momentarily. First of all, today we're going to do something slightly different. In the dream team, we always talk about our mind because, today in church, it was just funny, Sister Yvonne, that your topic was what is it was in church today.
Really? Your
Yes.
mind, eh?
And they actually brought one of the scripture from our good our good Apostle Paul, right? Our mind. And a lot of us doesn't meditate because it's too much noise. And that's
yes.
And we have to teach our mind to bring the right thoughts and take away the thoughts that are negative. I'm like, wow. Can you come to Dream Team, Pastor? We did that already. So,
Sister, before you go on, first you said you're going to unmute everybody, but I think you mean mute. And also, the housekeeping. May I just ask, when people are just, because I evicted this person who wouldn't change theirs, hot, whatever it is. I don't think we should admit any of those. And also, somebody's called TT, and if they don't respond, I'm going to remove them as well. Nobody with those strange names are coming in here. I'm sorry.
All right, I know, TT, can you rename yourself?
I've asked them, yes.
Okay, rename yourself.
Thank you, sister. Thank you.
If you need help for us to rename you,
we'll do it for you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because as I said, today we're going to have our guest speaker speak first, but he's very busy. I think that's why I'm really appreciating that he's agreed to come and talk to us today, right? Because he is a very busy person. I told him to come around 1:05. Maybe he's caught in something. He'll be here with us momentarily, but we are switching things. We hear from her, and then our sister, the queen that we just heard her voice, will come to still fit our mind. Maybe it will be even better today. And he's just coming in. Oh, God. So that's why we switch things around, because he has limited time with us today. Very limited time. So without further ado, let me introduce you to our guest speaker today. I've grown to call him brother. Whether he likes it or not, I call him brother. He knows that. He's become a brother to me because it's been a while. After 5+ years, I think I can, what's the word I want to use? Anyway, let me not waste time because he doesn't have a lot of time. Let's welcome our brother. Everybody knows him, Michael Williams, EMS. What does M means? Automatic Internet Millionaire. So we can all be one of that. Welcome, our brother. As I said, you're going to go to the first because you have limited time and we'll have to respect his time. Over to you. And we don't have our clapper here. Let's clap for him. He's taking a break from this platform for a while, but he graced us today. So I really appreciate that. Over to you, Dr. and Mike.
Everybody wants me to be a doctor. Oh my gosh.
You are already, you are.
Wow.
Welcome, Brother Mike. We love to see you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for having me. It's a great pleasure to be with you guys. Yes, it's been a long time, but, it's all good. Okay, it's all good. And so, wow. Well, I trust you guys are having a great day. It's Sundays. Sundays are always a good day for me. So trust everything is good with you guys. So I see that we want to talk about the path to financial freedom, diversify your income, secure your future. That's a great topic. It's a really, really good topic. So my goal, I guess today would be to help you understand the need, right? The need, because it is a need for building multiple income streams in an uncertain economy, okay? Because that's what we have. That's what we're faced with now. It's very challenging, okay, out there in the marketplace. One of the things, or what I was doing anyways, prior to 7 years ago, what I was doing, I started Automatic Internet Millionaire back in 2010, okay? And that was our goal or our focus was to have a portfolio, right? A portfolio of companies, business opportunities that we were promoting, building, etc., because it gets you to your financial goal that much faster, okay? And as you look around, take Elon Musk, for example. Is it one thing? Does he have one income stream? Warren Buffett, and the list goes on and on. So, they give us clues, right? But for some reason, we've been told that it's all about going to school, get that education, go get that good job, and that's been drilled into society. And there's a reason for that, okay? It's not for our benefit, okay? It's not for our benefit, but it's certainly for the benefit of the tax collectors, okay? It is what it is, folks, and a lot of people don't realize that, but we've heard the stories of this one who dropped out of university, this one don't even have a high school diploma, and so on and so forth. Not that higher learning isn't important. Obviously, it is. That's why I have my 3 children, in university, etc., because it is important, okay? But as far as wealth building, as far as being able to obtain financial freedom, you will find that the majority of people that have become financially free, it's not from a job, okay? And that's factual, folks, okay? And when we look around all over the globe, not just in America, but all over the world, you'll see that the majority of people that are struggling, they're struggling because that's all they have is a job, okay? And so while it does play a role, right, and a good role at that, we have to wake up to the fact that there's more to it than just that, okay? So when we had Automatic Internet Millionaire going, that's exactly what we're doing. We had 3 or 4 good opportunities that we're promoting. We automated the process for our members, etc. And then we came upon the thing, the opportunity that we thought would have been, the last business that we would ever need, all of that fancy stuff, right? And so we dropped everything, which was probably the worst mistake. Maybe not say the worst, but let's say one of the worst mistakes that we probably made in our life was to drop everything and just solely focus. Because here's the thing. The vast majority of people did not quit their jobs, right? They still had their jobs. They're still doing what they're doing, while they were engaged in that company, right? Whereas, we took it upon ourselves to say, well, you know what? If this is going to be what we think it's going to be, I really don't need to be doing all of this. Let me just focus all my energy here, et cetera, et cetera. And then one thing to the next, to the other, here we are today, okay? So we made that conscious decision that, you know what? We're just going to go back to what we know works, okay? We know how to make money. We have a variety of things at our disposal that we can use. We have skills that we can use to make money, etc. So let's go back and do just that, okay? And so that's what we have been doing. And, we can touch on a little bit about that at the end. But the bottom line is I know the importance of having multiple income streams because it's something that we've done over the years, and not just since 2010, but even prior to that. Okay, when I was working at the bank, I had a side gig that I was doing, and then my side gig became bigger. The income became much bigger than my actual job at the bank. When I worked for an insurance company, same thing. Okay, I had a side gig as well, and that also became bigger. And then I said to myself, well, okay, if my side gigs are providing me way more income, like way more income, folks, okay, to the point where I said, let me just walk away from the job, which I did. And that was back in 2000, I believe it was. Okay, so 25 years ago or so, right? Because it just made so much sense. I was having so much fun being able to travel with my family. We went to so many different places while doing these side gigs, etc. And it was, it was exciting times for us. We got to the point where we went all the way to the top. Living in probably one of the largest homes in Canada. Right? Let me put it that way. Okay. Indoor this and indoor that, and just everything. I think my daughter's room was probably bigger than most people's homes. But it was incredible times, folks. Okay, so we know what it's like to see millions and all of that stuff, but we also know what it's like to lose millions. Okay, because the world is not a nice place at times, and there are folks out there that they don't care. They will take your last dime from you, and they just don't business. And sometimes we see people and we think that these people mean us well, and they come and they speak well, and they, love and all of this fancy stuff. And in the end, all they do is hurt people. Okay, so we've experienced that, folks. In our course of business, so we know the highs, we know the lows. Is the point I'm making? But we understand that you never give up, folks. You never give up. Okay, that is the key to success, and we've been able to bounce back. We've been able to build ourselves up, et cetera, et cetera. And it doesn't have to take long. That's the beautiful thing about having multiple income streams, is that it doesn't have to take long, right? We're talking, it can happen for you in months. It doesn't have to be years, folks. Not at all. Okay, you just have to have the right vehicles in front of you, and have to have the right work ethics, and just have someone give you a helping hand, right? That's all it really takes. Okay, and then go from there. All right. So let's get into this a little bit. One of the things when you just have a single income stream, okay, obviously there's a risk to that. Okay, there's a risk to that. Relying on one job, right? It creates a single point of failure, right? If the economy is unpredictable and all you have is just that one thing that you're doing, if that one thing fails or you miss that paycheck, what do you do? Okay, how many people have we seen have lost their jobs? How many people that we see are now in shelters because they only had one thing, okay, that they were focusing on? So again, not the best strategy. And folks, it could be a high-paying job. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. We see it, happens all the time. Amazon, I think, laid off 14,000. I think they laid off recently, right? And we've seen other companies, okay, over the past 2-3 years that are just letting people go, especially with so much attention towards artificial intelligence. Okay, so it's not easy out there, folks. Okay, so it's not just folks that are in lower paying jobs. It's from right across the spectrum. Okay, so that's not the best thing to be doing. It's just relying on that one job. But again, especially in North America, especially in Canada and the US, where we're so heavily taxed, okay, and countries like France as well, right, where we're so heavily taxed, right, it's their best interest to have you doing a job because you pay way more taxes, right, on your income. So if you have a job, okay, and you are making, I don't know, let's say $100,000 a year, okay, again, depending on where you live, right, Canada, US, France, using those three as the example, you could be paying anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000 of that income to the government, okay? As opposed to if I make that same income in one of my side gigs, okay, you know what I'm paying to the government, right? Probably around $10,000, okay? Because of all the tax deductions that I would have, right? So that's a big difference. So now I have $90,000 that I can use towards my family, okay, as opposed to only having 50 to 60,000. That's a massive difference, folks. Okay, that's a massive difference. Okay, and that's same income, right? Same income, but it just depends on how I'm actually earning that income. Okay, so that's just a good example of why people that have side gigs, or whether people have some sort of business, etc. And then you get even deeper into it when people start setting up corporations. Okay, there are a lot of people who have corporations out there that don't really do much other than shelter and income. Okay, there's a lot of that's out there, right? So we want to have a financial safety net. Okay, you want to have a financial safety net, and how do you do that? You do it because you have multiple income stream. It provides a cushion. Okay, it provides a cushion against job loss, against inflation, market fluctuations, right? So it's so important, folks, that you have to, if you're not doing it, that you have to look into that. Okay, it is the way to get you to your financial destination as far as being financially free. Okay, very, very important. Okay, you have to be adaptable. Okay, and so you want to have diverse income sources because it's going to build resilience. Okay, it's going to help you adapt to economic changes because things do change, folks. Okay, things don't stay the same, right? Again, which we've seen, especially coming out of COVID. A lot has changed since COVID, folks. Okay, a lot has changed. I find that people right now, it's like they're more, let's say, lazy, right? People don't want to do much for some reason. I remember calling someone the other day, and they're, right now I'm kind of in that lazy mode, and I don't really feel like doing anything. And like I was like, wow, really? That's that's your attitude, right? Like you just don't feel like doing anything, right? And so you have folks taking on that mindset right now. I don't know if there was something in that vaccine or what it was, but it just seems like there's a different attitude that people have versus prior to COVID. There seemed to be some sort of shift that took place. Okay, now there's basically three types of income. Okay, you have active income, you have passive income, and then you have portfolio income. Right. So active income, that's money that you earn, obviously directly for your time and your effort. Right. So your primary job, maybe you do some freelance work. Okay, so you're exchanging your time in order for that money. So most people, they work 40 hours a week, etc., and they're doing that month after month, year after year. But we've seen it. I mean, when I was working in the financial industry, and I'll sit down with people and go through their finances and all of that stuff, and help them, financially plan for the future, and all of that. We can see that it didn't matter what the income level was. Right? I'm sitting down with someone making $500,000 a year. It didn't matter that that's the amount that they were making. They were still one paycheck away, right, from being broke, right? Because their income, okay, is going to dictate, right, their situation. Okay, so whether they're living in a big house, whether they live in an expensive neighborhood, they're driving fancy cars, the restaurants they go to cost more money, the kids in private school, etc. Okay, so the expense, okay, is usually a direct correlation to their income. Okay, so you can have someone who makes $30,000 a year, and they're also one paycheck away, right? So it's the same thing, just that their expense obviously is going to be smaller. Okay, but it's still the same situation. So it's not really about how much you make. Right? It's more about how much you spend, because you can have someone making $30,000 a year, but if they spend way less, okay, percentage-wise, compared to somebody who's making, say, $300,000 a year, from a percentage standpoint, that person with $30,000 a year is living a better life. Okay, so it's not just about how much you make, folks. Okay, well, that's active income, though. You're exchanging your time for money, and you're limited because there's only so many hours that you can work a day, right? Like you can't work more than 24 hours a day, and you can't even work 24 hours every day. Okay, you just can't do that. Okay, and so you're limited, right? When we talk about passive income, and this is where a lot of people get into trouble. Okay, a lot of people are running around and they're seeking, I just want to take my money and put it into something and just walk away and just have it working for me and all these things. But if it's in the wrong vehicle, folks, if it's in the wrong vehicle, and we've heard the stories and we've seen hundreds of millions of dollars, even billions of dollars that have disappeared, people gone, stolen, never to come back, etc. because people just take their money and just throw it into something and poof, okay? Turns out to be a scam, right? And so we've seen way too much of that over the past probably 15, maybe even 20 years. We've seen way too much of that, folks, you know, and yet, even though people have these experiences, they're still looking for that because for some reason they believe, oh, the next one is going to be real. No, the truth of the matter is, folks, most of these so-called passive vehicles that people are engaging themselves in, they are scams, but people are crafty. Okay, people will present a good story, make you believe, and you jump in, and only turns out that no, it was a scam. If you actually had your your spider radar on, okay, right, then you'd realize that, you know what, doesn't even make any sense. Doesn't make any sense what the person is telling me, okay? But unfortunately, we just jump in because we get excited, because we think that, oh, wow, I can make 30% a month. Oh, I can make 100% a month, blah, 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 right? And realize that, no, that's not the case. You have to, okay, how is the money being generated? Okay, how are we going to earn that money? And that usually is a telltale of whether something is real or not. But we want to earn passive income nevertheless. Okay, such things as a proper investment, okay, rental properties, it could even be digital products, okay, that you can have passive income in, so basically earning from ventures in which you are not actively involved on a daily basis, okay. All right, that's kind of when we talk about passive income, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for something whereby, you know what, it doesn't require my involvement, okay, but I have to make sure that it's legitimate. I have to make sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, etc. But that's where you can start making money now while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation, while you're spending quality time with your family. That is something that everyone should strive for, is passive income. Okay, now you can actually have something that starts out being active, okay, and then at some point it becomes passive. Right? Take real estate for example. I could be actively engaged in real estate investments, and once I get the properties I'm up and running and so on, once they're all tenanted and all of these things, I can just hire a property manager. So once I get myself all sorted, okay, now it then becomes passive, okay, because there's nothing that I need to do once I have people in place, right? I can go open up a restaurant, get a franchise, etc. But I still have to go set it up. I still have to hire people, staff, all of that stuff. Once I get it going, now it doesn't need my involvement anymore. So something that was initially active, right, now becomes passive, okay? So you also have that aspect as well. Then there's portfolio income, okay? So portfolio income, that's more when we're talking about stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc. And so for people who like those type of vehicles, then yes, by all means. Now, I personally believe that all markets are manipulated, right? So one needs to be mindful in what they're engaged in, right? But the opportunities do present themselves that as you're starting to generate income, right, you can use some of that income now. So in other words, take your money and make more money with it, okay? But you just have to be smart as to the vehicles that you're putting that into, okay? Then there's accelerating your wealth, okay? You definitely want to accelerate it because for most people, time is against them, right? For most people, you know what I mean? You've gone through life, maybe sustained some losses, now you need to recoup and all these things. And before you know it, okay, you're 50 years old. Before you know it, you're 60 years old. So time is against you, as opposed to, being able to do some smart things, when you're in your 20s, okay? Big difference, okay? If you look at what it requires for someone to invest and the return that you need, obviously, if you're in your 20s, okay, you don't need as much to put aside each month versus, as you get older, in your 40s, you're in your 50s, and so on. It's going to require a lot more to put aside to try and get to that retirement goal, okay? So, we definitely want to put ourselves in a position where we can accelerate wealth building. And how do we do that? One of the things is to pay down our debt faster. Okay, a lot of people, get a mortgage for their home, and they literally try to take 25 to 30 years to pay this mortgage off. When you do that, folks, you end up paying for that home twice. Okay, so if you bought a home, the house is $1 million. Okay, if you're taking 25 to 30 years to pay it off, you end up paying $2 million for the same home. Okay, that's crazy. But that's what the majority of people do. And it doesn't take much to pay it off early, folks. Okay, usually most mortgages, they'll give you whether it be 10%, 15%, 20% a year that you can put right against the purchase price. Okay, and so by doing that, you can literally pay off your home in as little as 5 years. Okay, so it doesn't have to be something that takes you this long. And when you do that, now the bank's not going to tell you this because they don't want you to pay it off, as fast as possible. They want you to keep paying, month after month, etc., long term, because obviously they make more money through interest payments, right? No different than your credit cards. Why is it that your credit card they give you these minimum payments that's so tiny, right? They should actually be telling you to pay more than these little tiny threshold that they give to you. Why? Because they know the longer you take to pay it off is the more money they are making. It's the more money you are losing, okay? Because you could be using that same money towards positive cash flow, okay, as opposed to negative, okay? And that's what your debts are, right? So you definitely want to learn how to accelerate repaying debts, especially the ones that are high interest, okay? Such as credit cards, okay? You definitely want to do that, okay? Then you boosting your savings and your investments, okay? You need to put more towards that, okay? Even being aggressive towards saving and investment, okay? That's going to help you get to faster wealth accumulation, okay? By doing just that, right? So all these things are important, folks. And when you have multiple income streams, guess what? It helps you, it allows you to have more cash flow to be able to put towards some of these things, okay? Again, it's all about taking your money and use it to make even more money by being smarter with your money, taking advantage of compound interest, okay? Basically you want to be able to invest consistently, right? Over a period of time, okay? By using leverage, okay? I know some of you are with me with our Forex strategy, etc., right? And so we know one of the things that we do is to take advantage of leverage by using a 500-to-1 account as opposed to a 30-to-1 or a 1-to-1, etc. It makes a massive difference, folks, because now you can actually make 5% a day on your money only because you're using leverage, okay, to that scale, okay? As opposed to if it was 30-to-1 leverage, no, you wouldn't be able to make that. You wouldn't even be able to make 1%, okay? But being smart with leverage, that allows you to take a small amount of money and you can turn it into large sums of cash. So the power of compound interest is very, very powerful. It's been documented all over the place. I'm sure you can find that all over the internet or just do a Google search on the power of compound interest or something to that effect. And you'll see it makes a massive difference, okay? So we definitely want to be able to take advantage of that. And, that ties into having that side gig, having a business whereby you're also taking advantage of leverage, okay? Because you can leverage money, but you can also leverage time, okay? So it's not just money that you can leverage time. This is what business owners, this is what they do. This is why you got corporations and they have a whole bunch of employees and all of that stuff. The owner says, well, instead of me, exchanging my time and my time alone, right, to make the money, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go hire 1,000 employees, okay? Even a small business owner, you know what? I'm going to hire 3 employees, okay? And so while they're doing the work, so there's my time that I put in, and then there's the time that my 3 employees are also putting in, okay? So now I'm able to have more production, right? Because I'm leveraging their time, you understand? And so when that CEO can be on the golf course having fun, right? You're stuck at that job for 8 hours, okay? And so he's leveraging your time. He pays you just enough so that you will come back the next day, okay? But he knows exactly what he's doing, okay? That's why a lot of these companies are started. It's not because, let's do this to give somebody an opportunity. No, they know the reason why I'm doing this is because I understand numbers. I understand that, hey, if I have 1,000 workers and each of them are working 8 hours a day, whoa, that's 8,000 hours a day. We know there's only 24 hours in a day. But now because I have 1,000 workers and each of them are working 8 hours, now I've multiplied that daily maximum, okay, from 24 up to 8,000. Okay, that's a massive difference, folks. Okay, and so that's how businesses work. That's how corporations are able to make the gazillions of dollars that they do, because they understand the power of leverage, okay, along with compound interest. Because as you're working day after day, month after month, etc., okay, all those time is being multiplied. Okay, it's being compounded. Okay, so they're compounding your effort. Okay, so they understand that, yes, I can compound interest, but I can also compound time. I can leverage money, but I can also leverage people. Okay, and so that's very, very important, folks. And we have that ability to be able to do that in some of the side gigs that we do. Okay, it's very, very important. You want to be able to seize that, because that's going to help you and transform your portfolio to a whole different level, to the point where you can actually have a side gig where you're making $1 million a month. That is real, folks. That's not fantasy. Okay, that is real. Okay, I've been around some folks that make some incredible amount of money simply because they're smart. Okay, not smart as in academically smart, but smart in that they know how to take advantage of what the market offers to us. Okay, and so these things are there, but it's there for those who are seeking it. Okay, when a lot of people have closed minds and all they're doing is just focusing, well, nope, I have my job, I'm just going to do this, and then I'll be able to retire at 55. 55 comes and they can't retire. Okay, they can't retire, right? When 55 comes. So then they say, okay, well, I'll retire at 65. 65 comes and they still don't have enough to retire. Because people seem to think that, well, no, during my retirement age, I'm going to be spending less money. In actual fact, you're spending more. Okay, you're spending more. Okay, because of healthcare costs and so on and so forth. Okay, especially for folks who are not taking care of themselves, exercising, eating right, all of that stuff. Okay, then you're going to start seeing the medical bills piled up as you get older, right? So again, we want to have that balanced life. Okay, now let's take like freelance services, for example. Okay, so maybe you have a skill, right? Maybe you have a skill at your job, for example, and you can then offer your service, right? Even stuff like Upwork or Fiverr and places like that. Maybe you're a copywriter, for example. You can now offer your service to some of these platforms, and people will pay you to get stuff done for them, right? You'd be surprised what people will pay for. A lot of people don't understand there's so much that they can do on their own, right? And they choose, to have somebody else do it for them, right? For example, in real estate, okay, I can actually go secure a deal on a property, okay, and then broker that deal to the actual client, okay, when the client could have done it on their own. You understand? And I can make a few $1,000s just by doing that. Something very, very simple, right? Again, things that people can do. Marketing. There are people that will pay you to market, for them. So all of a sudden now, I'm a marketing agency, right? Because people are not willing to go do what they need to go do. Travel agent. Okay, you have somebody who says, well, yeah, I don't want to book my own stuff, and I'd rather get some, because I did that for a number of years, right? Where I had someone on standby that anytime I needed anything where travel is concerned, I just give her a call. I say, I need this, and then she just goes and take care of it for me. When I actually could have done it myself. Okay, it's no different than having people who will come and they'll shovel or snow year after year after year. I can't do it myself. I just choose not to. Right. So you have people go around and say, hey, we offer the service. And so they're doing something that people can do for themselves. You understand? And then away you go. Gardening. Okay. We had someone came by here during the summer, just the end of spring, whatever. Again, same thing. But that's stuff that we could have actually done ourselves. But you understand? So you have people who now take a skill that they have and they turn it actually into a business. Right. And some of them do it on the side. Some of them end up, making it full time, etc. But these are things that we can do to generate additional income streams that we can now use to put towards some of these passive investments. Okay. Again, real passive investments. Okay. Let me make that clear. Okay. Not the nonsense that some folks are out there doing. Okay. So side hustle. Yeah, that's important, folks. Okay. You have something that's a hobby. making and I don't know, selling crafts or pet sitting. Okay, we have people in our neighborhood. They get paid $50 an hour just to go walk a dog. Okay, you understand? So you got some of these high school kids, and that's what they do. They just go around the neighborhood and they're walking people's dogs, and they're making $50 an hour for doing that. Okay, $50 an hour. That's more than what a lot of people are making at their full-time jobs, folks. You understand, right? So these are things that people can do. Freelance photography and like there's so much that a person can do. We understand about the gig economy, right, or the side gig economy, right? We're talking about billions of dollars, folks. Okay, billions of dollars where people are doing stuff like ride sharing, with Uber or Lyft, package delivery, with Amazon Flex, and there's so many different things that people are doing, within that side gig economy. Okay, it's a booming industry. There's more and more people are leaving their corporate jobs, and this is what they're doing. So whereby they have a sole proprietorship. Okay, so it's just them. They have no employees. They have no staff. Right? There's more and more people. That's what they're doing, folks. Okay. Again, because it's an uncertain economy that's out there, especially with that U.S. president and what he's doing and all of that fancy stuff. Right? Again, I don't get into politics. I don't vote. I don't do any of that stuff personally because I know that it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't count. It's all planned, organized, etc. But don't listen to me when it comes to that stuff. Okay. But the point is that the economy is just gone bananas, right? It's gone bananas, right? So many people are impacted just by a single tweet, okay? Just by a single tweet. Just all depends on who's making that tweet, okay? People are so engaged in social media now that they think everything on social media is gospel, okay? And they don't realize what really goes on behind the scenes, right? They don't realize how a lot of these large companies are taking advantage of people that are desperate, right? I was watching this documentary, and they were talking about one particular company, and their clients are the who's who: Google, Apple, Microsoft. That's who their clients are. And so they would go into Africa, for example, and they're paying some of these folks like pennies, right? An hour. Or they'll hire some of these folks for 10 minutes of work, and then they fire them after 10 minutes. And in some cases, they don't even pay them, right? They promise them they're going to do this. They get them a contract, all this stuff. And so these are our American companies doing this. And not just in Africa, but in other places as well, because people are desperate. They're looking for that job. Oh, I have high medical bills, so I need to find something. They go online, look for something, and these companies take advantage of them. Okay, these things are happening, folks, right? This is why I'm telling you, people have to try to secure something that makes sense, be part of a community so you're not alone, okay? Because you don't want to go about it alone, folks. It doesn't have to be, right? Be part of a community where it doesn't take a large amount of money to get something started, and so on and so forth, right? I've done traditional businesses. One business that we had years ago where we actually had a lot of stores that we were distributing shoes and clothing line and all these things to them. And it was a lot of work, right? But we know what we're doing, that it's a real business, real products, we're dealing with real people, and so on and so forth, right? So there's lots of things that people can do, but you just have to be proactive, okay? You have to be proactive. As far as passive income streams, okay, so again, real estate, people seem to gravitate towards that, but one have to be also mindful. Yes, you can generate income by renting out properties, even extra space in your home, but we've seen the negative side of that too, whereby that tenant, you just can't get them out, right? They will not leave, and they're not paying the rent anymore. Okay, so people just have to be mindful in what you're doing. I try to find the least resistance. Right? Try to find things that are, what, if I do this, what's the worst case scenario, right? Like what's going to happen? So if I, take up, I don't know, $100,000 and go dump it into a rental property, right? So purchase the property, now, get a property manager to sort it out, all those things. I'm just looking for the cash flow, etc. So I'm putting up $100,000, but then, what does it actually generate in me though? When it's all said and done, when I crunch all the numbers, okay, what is my net profit from that? Whereas I can actually go start a business, for $300 to $500. And so that's a lot less money out of my pocket. Yes, I got to put a little bit of, groundwork in. Okay. But then thereafter though, right? Thereafter, it blossoms. Okay. It blossoms. So I have to weigh the pros and cons. Do I want to take $100,000, go put it into this? Real estate has stand the test of time. We all know that. Okay. But are there smarter things that I can do with my money though? Right? Do I have to put so much out? Okay. Because that now becomes limited. How many people can go grab $100,000 and say, okay, here you go. Let's go do this, right? It's much easier. More people have access to $300, $400, $500, etc., that they can do something with. But rental property certainly is something that people can generate passive income stream from. Digital products, create an online course, ebooks, right? Things that people can sell repeatedly over and over and over and over again. The course that we teach, right? The Forex course that we teach. If we wanted to, we can literally sell that ebook that we provide to people. We can sell it. We choose not to, but we could. Okay, we can offer, okay, we're charging you by the hour. So every time I'm there, I'm charging by the hour. Or I can make it a monthly cost. I can make it a yearly cost, and so on and so forth, right? These are things that people can do. And so not just that, but any other skill that you may have that you can offer your service to others. Okay, people are willing to pay, folks. That's one of the things that I know, irrespective of an uncertain economy, people are willing to spend money, right? A lot of folks will say, oh, I have no money for this, I have no money for that. But in actual fact, they do. Okay, it just depends on, do they really want that thing that you're offering them? Okay, because when I see and hear, oh, I lost $25,000 in this, I'm like, $25,000. You understand? They've lost it, so obviously they had it to lose, in the sense of, they had to have it in the first place in order to be able to put it into, whatever nonsense they did. Affiliate marketing. Okay, this is something that's overlooked by so many people, right? Affiliate marketing, you earn commissions by promoting other companies' products. So you don't have to be the one that create the product. Okay, you don't have to manufacture anything, but affiliate marketing is there, right? You can do this stuff through your website, through social media. I know a guy the other day, he posted a link on TikTok. He has 100,000 followers. Posted just a simple link on TikTok, and out of his 100,000 followers, 6,000 decided to take him up on the offer, right? And as a result, he's making $30,000 a month from a $20 item. So it wasn't like he was selling anything expensive, but just the fact that he had 100,000 followers, okay, and just one. I mean, how long do you think it took him to make that post? You understand? It didn't take him hours, folks, right? Not even 1 hour. Like it just probably 5 minutes. It was very, very simple. And yet, but again, he had the traffic, he had the followers, okay? And so with 6,000, basically who stepped up and took the offer, right? And I know other affiliates who's been doing this stuff for years, whereby they spend $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 on marketing, okay, just on advertising, just promoting something, okay? And of course, they're making a lot more than that. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense, right? So affiliate marketing is something that people can start with little or no money in some cases, okay, and actually generate extra money. What do you do with that extra money? Okay, use it to pay off that mortgage, use it to pay off those high debt that you have. You want to be debt-free, folks. You understand? You want to be debt-free. Unless you're savvy enough to know how to carry debt and make the debt work for you, you really want to be debt-free. And most people are not that savvy, okay, when it comes to that. You understand? So the easiest thing to do is like, you know what? Well, let me just get rid of the debt to begin with, okay? And so as you're making these extra income from these multiple income streams, okay, anyone tell you that, no, you should only focus on one thing, that person is lying to you. That person don't mean you any good. If that's all, no, just focus here, and that's all you have to do is just this. Not true, folks. The examples is all around us. You understand? The examples are all around us. Okay, so we have to be mindful. If that is the conversation that we're having, okay, because it just isn't true. The stats show otherwise. Okay, it shows otherwise. Even if you're doing a business and that's the only thing. Now, if you're in a business and you see that you're making, I don't know, $100,000 a month, okay, and so what I would do, I'm going to put more effort towards that because it's working, it's producing what I want, probably more than what I need. So I'll put even more effort towards that because it's there, okay? But if it's something that hasn't produced any income for me as yet, and for me to just solely focus on that and then put more effort into it and more effort into it, that is ludicrous. That's just a complete waste of time, folks. You understand me? People have to be smart. People have to think for themselves. Okay, well, who stands to gain from this? Okay, is it me or is it someone else? So one of the things that I've always done over the years is to put myself in a position whereby my goal is always to help others, because I honestly believe that the more people I help is the more benefit I'll get in the end, not necessarily up front, but in the end. Okay, and so I rather go that route to generate income streams because it just makes a lot of sense. I never want to be in a position where I'm the only one making money. Okay, where I'm the only one making money. Sometimes, I will give up some income because more people stand to gain as a result of that. Okay, portfolio income, again, stuff like dividends, stocks and bonds. Okay, so you invest in stocks that pay dividends. Okay, you purchase bonds for a steady stream of passive income. Okay. You have what's called ETFs. Okay, those are exchange traded funds. Okay, so you can invest in diversified funds for potential long-term growth and passive income. Okay, so these are traditional stuff that people can do, right? Real estate investment trust. Okay, so REIT or REITs. Okay, people can invest in that, and so that's basically putting your money into real estate without having all the hassle that come with it, property management and so on and so forth. Okay, it's a trust. Your money just goes into the trust, similar to like a mutual fund. Okay, and yet you don't have to have direct property ownership. Okay, but you're generating your returns as a result of being involved in the real estate market. Okay, and so you want to be able to kind of have a portfolio that's kind of interconnected. Okay, so whereby you have different products, different services, different opportunities. Okay, and as one opportunity makes money, you take that opportunity and feed it into another one, and so it's almost like a loop. They're just going around and around and around, with the sole goal of, number one, minimizing the debts. Okay, and now you're increasing your assets. Okay, so expenses come down, assets increase. Okay, and so that will give you greater cash flow that you can then use, as I said, to continue to make the debt go down. Okay, and as you do that, folks, now you're starting to see financial freedom. Now you're starting to have more disposable income that you can use for, luxury items, just as a vacation. People don't realize that a vacation is a luxury item, folks. Okay, nowadays it probably isn't, because it's probably something that you need because of all the stress that is out there. You need to de-stress. Okay, when you de-stress, guess what? It helps with longevity of life. Okay, you have folks that will pass away because of stress, being heartbroken. All these things can occur to people. So we want to be in a position where money isn't an issue. Okay, that's the position you want to find yourself in, where you don't have to be thinking about, okay, where's, I need to pay the rent. Where's that going to come from? I need to pay the mortgage, or gas bill, this bill, all these bills. I'm like, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do, right? Oh, I just lost my job. Oh my gosh, I don't have 6 months, of deposits, right, sitting inside a bank account. I don't have that. What I'm going to do? Where will the money come from to do this, to do that? I got the kids, them education to pay for, and so on. And so we let all these things stress us, right, to the point where our body starts to break down. Okay, so the mental can now become physical. Okay, so the stress is something that is mental, and then now it becomes physical because it's a choice. Okay, you don't have to let the thing stress you out. You understand? You can choose, to walk away from something, right? If something is really bothering me, I can just walk away. I can just walk away. Okay. It's like you get into a fight with someone. Okay. But you can either stand there and fight, or you can just walk away. You understand? Right. And then go from there. Right. So it's very, very important, that we want to put ourselves in a position, to get to the point where money just isn't an issue, folks. Okay. And that's what multiple income streams is going to allow you to do, right? Time management. You want to be able to prioritize your income streams that offer the best return on your time and your energy. Okay. So if I'm doing something, I'm putting all this time and effort into it, and then there's no return. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of energy. Right. And for me, my time is money. Okay. So this is why I don't shovel my own snow. This is why I don't cut my own grass. Because as I tell my wife, I said, I'm more productive by being inside here, working on the computer, doing what I do, as opposed to me taking an hour or whatever it is to go out there. Now, it's important to get outside, folks. It's important to get sunlight. All those things are important. So I will take time and go, rake the leaves or, blow the leaves. And, what I mean? So there's some things I will do outside just because of that, because I need to be outside. I can't just be cooped up inside the house all the time. That's not good for you either. Okay, your body will break down. It's important that people do get out there and get sunlight. All right. And so, that's another topic. But sunlight, folks, a lot of people seem to think that, no, I need to put on sunscreen and block the sun, and bad idea. Okay. Do the research, see the positive effect of having daily sunlight, or as much sunlight as possible. Okay, again, depending on where you live, some places, you have less sunlight than others, but there's really, really superior benefits to what the sun has to offer our bodies. Okay, so but that's another topic. All right, so we want to balance our multiple income stream, folks. So time management is one of them. Automation. Okay. Yes, you want to automate your systems. You want to, wherever it's possible, so that you don't have to do it, or even just to reduce the manual work that's required. Okay, this is why over the years I've always used like an autoresponder to send out my emails. Okay, so I want emails to go out from a marketing standpoint. Okay, but I can automate that process. Okay, and so anything that I can automate, my traffic that I need, I can automate it. By paying for the traffic instead of, me manually trying to generate it. So there's different things that you can do, folks, to help balancing, your multiple income streams. Okay, having goals, setting realistic goals. Okay, because you don't want to be burnt out, right? You don't want to be burnt out. You don't want to be overcommitting too much. Setting goals that are not achievable. Right? You want to be realistic in what you're trying to accomplish. So you may say, okay, well, I want to be able to, I'm 40 years old now. I want to retire by the time I'm 55. Well, what are the actionable steps that you're taking to accomplish that? Okay. And they have to be realistic. Well, okay, well, I'm 40 now. So I think I'm going to make $1 million a year starting next year. Chances are it's not realistic. You know what I mean? But we can scale. Okay. We can start out with something that is realistic. Okay. And based upon how things are working out, we can always scale up. Okay. And then take it from there. Again, I go back to the FX course, whereby we say, okay, just start with $100. Okay. And then you're going to scale up. Okay. You start with that, you're getting your 1%, 2%, whatever it is that you're getting. Okay. Doing your own trades. Okay. And then all of a sudden now, over time, now that $100 is now $200. So now instead of making $5 or $2 or $1, now all of a sudden it's $10. Okay, same activity, same work, but because you're able to scale, now you're making double that, triple that, quadruple that, and so on. Right, and so it's the same thing with what you're doing here, folks. When you're minimizing your debt, okay, as you're minimizing your debt, now you want to scale. Meaning, if you're putting $500 a month towards the debt. Now, because the debt is coming down, you're starting to make more income coming in. So now you want to put $600 toward it, $700 toward it. You understand? You're scaling up, and that's going to help you get to that goal of eliminating the debt in a short order, right? And so you definitely want to be able to have action steps implemented. Okay, you want to be able to identify whether it be one or two additional income streams that will align with whether it's your skills, whether it's your interest. Again, if you love fun, okay, maybe you want to do a business that is fun. If you like to be sociable, maybe you want to do a business that allows you to socialize with other people and so on. So you kind of want to put things together that is going to align, with your beliefs, right? Even your beliefs, right? If I'm involved in something, folks, and I don't believe in it, guess what? I'm not going to do it. I don't care how much money I'm going to make. I'm just not going to do it. If I see something that I believe is a scam, I'm just not going to participate in it. Okay? No matter what. That's just me. I know that there are people that will do a scam. They know it's a scam, but they'll do it anyways because they're going to make a gazillion dollars. Some people are like that. They're just wired that way. Me personally, I'm just not wired like that. Okay? And that's not going to change, right? Again, you are who you are. Okay? And so, we also have to be mindful of who we align ourselves with. Okay? That's important in life. You're going to school and, there's these bullies, and then you decide to align yourself with these bullies. When they get in trouble, guess what? You also get in trouble. You understand? Right? And so, so it's whether it's school, whether it's work, whether it's business, whatever the case may be, we have to be mindful, okay, in what we're doing as we go through life. Educate yourself, okay? This is one area that so many people neglect, okay? I've always been that one that loved to read, okay? Just read. When someone's trying to tell me about something, no, don't tell me about it. Give me material that I can go read for myself, right? I want to be able to read it. I want to go through it because I absorb it better that way when I do that, and I learn it faster because I'm the one that's actually processing the information. Okay, so we want to educate ourselves, continuous learning. Okay, that's important, folks. That's how you're going to expand your knowledge. That's how you're going to identify new opportunities. So that's when people send me stuff, I don't, immediately reject it. I'll take a look because you never know, right? The last opportunity that I put into my portfolio, I told the person flat out, I don't want to hear it. Right? Nope. I don't want to hear it. 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 But you know what? I'm glad that I did listen, to what they had to say, because it turned out to be the very best thing that I've seen in the past 30 years. That the very best. And I've been a part of some incredible opportunities, folks. Okay, we've been a part of, helping create over 300 millionaires and all these different things, right? Over the years, right? Being able to literally have a neighborhood where we're actually helping people move into the neighborhood with us. Okay, like those are some of the things that we've done over the years, right? And giving back a lot to our communities and stuff like that, folks, right? So we definitely, you want to be mindful who you're around, and stay away from things that, if you don't believe in something, stay away from it. If you believe in it, hey, by all means, go forward, do what you have to do. Right, but taking action. Most important thing is taking action. Okay, a lot of people talk the talk, but there is no walk. Right, there is no walk. Right, it's yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do all lip service. Okay, all lip service. You understand? But action, folks. If you want to get out of debt, you have to take action towards that. If you want to become successful, you have to take action towards that. Okay, anything in life. It's like, okay, well, I want to be a doctor. Okay. Are you in medical school? No. Why not? You know what I mean? So how are you going to become a doctor? You understand? Right? I want to be an engineer. Okay. Well, are you in university? No. Well, how are you going to become an engineer? You understand? Well, I want to make $1 million a year. Okay. How are you going to go about doing that? Well, I work at this factory and maybe one day I'll win the lottery. That's not, an actionable step, folks. That's realistic. Okay, right? Is it possible? Sure, it's possible. But not because it's possible means that it's realistic. Okay, people seem to confuse those two things. Something that offers you the possibility doesn't mean that it's a realistic possibility. Okay, and so while we do see people win the lottery from time to time, but that would not be my game plan. That's not my plan B, okay, or my plan C, D, E, or F. It just wouldn't be. You understand, right? But we have to take action, folks. We really do. Okay. So last thing I'll share with you, and then I'll turn it back over, right, is understand, folks, that, if we are if we have tunnel vision, okay, if we have tunnel vision, there is so much that we miss out on. I can honestly say with you, over the past 7 years, I had tunnel vision. I was focused on one thing and one thing only. And I put my heart and soul into that one thing, okay? And in the end, what did it do for me, okay? What did it do for me in the end, right? And so, as I said at the very start of this, that was a very big mistake, into just being like this and not sticking to what I've done over the years, which is to have 3 or 4. I'm not saying to have 10, 15, 20 and just jump into everything that people throw. Not at all, folks. No, right? But whether it's 2 or 3, whether it's 3 or 4, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to, if somebody presents you 4 things, maybe you do 1 out of the 4. Okay? Maybe you do 2 out of the 4, etc. Right? Again, it's your choice. But what I'm saying to you, though, if you truly want to be financially free, if you're looking for financial success, folks, okay, it's not difficult. It's not difficult. As a matter of fact, I can actually show you how to become financially free in just 16 weeks or less. I can absolutely do that, okay? But only if people are willing, okay? Only people are willing. I'm not, I will never impose or force anyone to do anything. Okay, never. Okay, although people will spread rumors of such. Okay, but I would never, ever do that, right? Because they're trying to protect themselves, right? But that's okay. The bottom line is, folks, the truth is the truth, and that's the side that I stand on. I stand on the side of truth, and I encourage every single person, every single one of you that's on here, always choose truth over anything else. Okay, over anything else. Because if you don't stand for truth, folks, you're not going to make it. Okay, you're not going to make it. Okay, but if you do, you know what happens? Good things will happen for you. Opportunities will present themselves to you, even when you're not even looking for it. Okay, even when you're not even looking for it. Right? It turns out that this last business that we put into our portfolio, that the owner of the company, he went to the same university that I went to. Okay, well, I went to 3 of them, but he graduated from the same university I graduated from. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Didn't know that. Then a very good friend of mine, they actually live on the same or live in the same neighborhood growing up, and they didn't even know each other. We're just finding all this out just now, right? When we see they went to the same high school together, I was like, oh, that's interesting. You understand? So sometimes stuff will just find you, folks, okay, without you actually looking for it, and then you just have to be open to at least take a look at the information so that you can make an informed decision, right? Take a look at the information so you can make an informed decision. So, we have something that is incredible right now. People can generate up to $15,000 daily, and it can be in as little as 16 weeks. In addition to that, they can receive over $850,000 in cash bonuses. In addition to that, they can have $1 million that's put towards a luxury home for them. Okay, all these things, folks, from a simple business that's been around for more than 12 years, by the way. So it's not like it's something new. Okay, because it doesn't take a long time, folks, to build a business. Okay, that's something that people have to understand. It doesn't take a long time to build a business. If you truly want to build something, folks, it can be done just like that, especially in today's economy, today's market, with all the technology that we have, with artificial intelligence, etc. It can be done just like that, folks. If you really want to do it, if you intend on doing it, that's all it takes. That's it. You understand? Other companies have done it. They've done it. I can do it. You understand? Right? If I want to start a business right now, it'll literally take me 1 month, 30 days. And I'll be up and running. Just like that, folks. That's all it takes. You understand? But when you have games being played, when you have people's lives, bottom line, folks, the bottom line is this. If you want success, it can be yours. It can be yours. All you have to do is making sure you're asking the right person, making sure you're aligning with the right people, okay? And you want people around you that you can actually trust. Okay? I mean, real trust. And how do you know you can trust somebody, folks? is based upon actions. They say actions speak louder than words. Okay, and so don't confuse words. Okay, you know what? Let me just leave that alone. Okay, bottom line is, folks. Bottom line is that life is too short. Okay, life is just too short, and you know we've seen that. We've lost loved ones along the way, so we know that life is not guaranteed for anyone. It's not promised, etc. And we can only do the best we can with what we have. Okay, and if you do that, folks, I always believe good things will happen to good people, no matter what. Sometimes you have setbacks. You could ride on a bicycle and you fall off the bicycle, you scrape your knees, some blood, you know, but guess what? You get back up and you ride that bicycle again, right? You drive down the road, you get into a car accident. You don't say, hey, you know what? I'll never drive a car again. No, you get in the car. As a matter of fact, years ago, I got into an accident. I was driving from one appointment to the next, okay? And then, thank you, Yvonne. That's what I was looking for. Thank you so much. Okay. And so I'm driving down the road, and the car, it just spun around like that. Okay. And as that happened, the car spun into the other side of traffic, and this other car came and just like boom, right into it. Okay. And it hit right on my driver's side. Okay. And you know, the other person in the vehicle, you know, again, I don't know if it's because it's a BMW, but whatever. Maybe because of the car, how the car is built, I don't know. But I certainly attribute it to God, that's for sure, that I walked out of there with just a scratch. Just all I was, a little scratch on my arm. That was it. The other person, he had to go, you know, to the hospital and all these things and what have you. But I just walked out with a scratch, and I was able to drive home, right? And I got home and I, you know, dropped that car off and took the other vehicle and went back on the road. You understand? So in spite of being in an accident such as that, I still jumped back in the car right away and drove home and got in the other vehicle and drive off. So my point is that things happen, folks, in life, but it doesn't say, oh my gosh, you know, no. And sometimes you have fear. I have a fear of going over bridges. I do. So when I'm going somewhere, I map it out and say, okay, make sure there's no bridge there. Right? Okay, if there is one, let me look and see, you know, how high the bridge is. That's what I do, folks. This is you know, real. This is truth, right? If I'm going into the U.S., I usually try to go through Detroit because I can go through the tunnel, right? The Windsor-Detroit tunnel, right? Instead of taking the bridge, right? So these are things that I do. And so sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get to my destination because I'm going the way that I'm comfortable with, you understand, driving, right? And again, I know, I mean, I'm not going to fall off the bridge. I mean, the fear isn't real, but nevertheless, it's still a fear, right? It's like my daughter, she's like 6 feet tall, okay? And she's scared of a little, teeny little spider. And I'm like, are you serious? I said, just step on it. No, Daddy, can you come in? You're 23 years old. You know what I mean? You're 6 feet tall. Look at this tiny little spider. It is what it is. You understand? So sometimes it's not rational, but it's there. But it doesn't stop us, though. You understand? The fear, it will not stop me from going on that journey. And if I actually come to a bridge, guess what? I don't turn around. I go over it. You understand me? In spite of the fear that I have. You know, I just tell them, okay, guys, quiet. You know, nobody say anything in the car, okay? And I'm talking to myself as I drive across it. Right? So it is what it is. But the bottom line is, folks, you know, life can be fun, right? And it really is. I've said this many times that life is for living. It really is, folks, okay? And there's so much out there. So, you know, I can just encourage you guys to respect the fact that so many people are engaged in multiple income streams. And that is what they found success in. All right. So thank you so much for having me today. I really, really appreciate you guys. All the best in whatever it is that you move forward with. Okay. I want nothing but success for you all. Okay. And just know that I will forever be your friend. All right. Take care.
Oh,
and
wow.
bye for now.
I know you have only limited time. I hope you can just grace us for another 5-10 minutes and let some folks by one just to ask a quick question. I don't want to even try to summarize that. But one thing I want to say is that the compound interest that he said we should leverage, remember the credit card are leveraged in another way for us, taking money from us. That minimum amount that they say you should pay, if you have studied credit card, the interest that you accumulate for that month, they add it to your principal. So they're actually using compound interest to take your money as well. So please be mindful. If you want to know what is in Brother Michael's portfolio, contact the Dream Team leaders. You can contact me and I will put it, I will link you towards that place. It look like, so Brother Mike, I want to just ask one question before I open it. We have only 5-10 minutes, I think, with him. My first question is that we talk about fear, and fear can be something that can really, really, what's the word? Disable, is that the word I want to use? And we've come to understand that multiple stream of income is the way to go. A lot of us very late, so that's why I want to accelerate, because we are in our retirement age and we have nothing. We have one job, one paycheck to be out on the street, right? And you actually said something that most people don't know. Retirement costs you more money, because I know how much I pay for medical medication for my mom, right? So we should be really mindful of that. My question to you, Brother Michael, if you have an opportunity that comes on your table, what should we look for? Because a lot of us have fallen into, I will just call it scams, right? Because we see it, oh, we're going to make millions, we jump in without even thinking, without even looking at anything. And we have all these videos, people will be like, we've been paid out already, and we know that that is not true. But at that point, you don't know what to look for. What do you think we should look for when something comes your way? Not to be afraid to lose an opportunity. If it makes sense, what am I saying?
Sure. Well, I mean, everything boils down to risk reward. Okay. And so, if something is risk free, right? If I can jump into something and that no matter what, there's going to be a positive outcome for me. Okay. That's a good thing. I want to be able to look at, what is the business model? Like, how is it that we're able to generate the returns, the income, et cetera? Like, what is it that we're doing? Do we have a product that we're selling? Like what is it? And I know, for crypto and all of this fancy stuff, I mean, look what's happening to crypto right now. Okay, no one knows, what tomorrow brings where the market is concerned, and the market is manipulated. But you have to look and see, okay, well, tell me exactly how. And I'll give you a quick story. Someone told me about a business, and they told me that, there's like a 3-year, 5-year, 7-year contract. I'm like, okay, cool. And they said, okay, just put $100 in, and you're gonna get this amount after 3 years, and this amount. I said, okay. So how are they able to do that? And so when they start to explain to me, well, there's this bank, and then there's this insurance company, and the bank's gonna do this loan thing, and so as they went to explain the whole thing to me, I'm like, that's nonsense. That's nonsense, right? Okay, what's the name of the bank? They can't even tell me what the name of the bank is. Okay, what's the name of the insurance company? They can't tell me what the name of the insurance company is. Okay, all right, you know what? Go to your bank and ask your bank if they would do something like this. Explain it to them, right? And say, okay, so you guys are a bank. Would you guys do something like this, right? And see what they'll tell you. Okay, and a lot of people, because they don't want to know the truth, they will not follow through. They will not go to the bank and ask the bank. But hey, if it's my hard-earned money, I don't care if it's $100. It's still my hard-earned money. I mean, how many hours did you have to work in order to get that $100? For most people, they probably have to work like 5 hours, you know what I mean, just to make that $100. So you're taking your 5 hours that you have to work and just throw it away like that? No. Okay, so I want to know how the money is going to be, how we're going to make it, right? How is it going to be earned? That's very, very important, because people will tell you stories, and people will lie. People will lie to you because they're trying to make money. They want to get over. They don't care. They will lie right to your face. Okay, that's just people, right? And so we have to be mindful with that, right? I'm not going to say, there was a time, right, where I said that I would never get involved with a company again, ever. I don't want to be involved with a business as CEO, and so I made that statement, and I was, I was serious about that. I really was, because I'm saying, oh my gosh, I mean, the trust and all these things, and then for things to to kind of go the way it went, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay away. I'm good. I'll just come over here in my little corner and it's gonna just me and my computer and it's gonna make some money and I'm good. Okay. But after a while, and I'm like, you know what, I shouldn't put all of that on all the companies, because there are a lot of great companies. There's some companies been around for 70 years, 50 years, 40 years. There's a lot of great companies out there, a lot of great CEOs out there, a lot of great execs and so on and so forth, right? Just like if a person, do me wrong, I'll just stay away from people? No, because there are good people also. There's good and there's bad. There are good companies and there are bad companies, okay? And so on and so forth, right? So I have to look at everything and it has to make sense to me. If it doesn't make sense, then I'm not going to get involved. It has to make sense, right? Now, again, being a numbers person, of course, I always crunch the numbers, okay? And so the numbers have to, definitely make sense. Oh, you can go in this, but I need to have 1 billion people in order for me to make any real money. Well, I'm definitely not going to go in that business, right? So it all has to make sense, so it's not one particular thing. You just want to get as much information as possible so that you can make an informed decision, right? And is there a track record, or is this something brand new, right? If it's something brand new, who are the people behind it? What's their track record, okay? Rather than being so emotionally involved, right? And sometimes that's what happens. We let our emotions get the best of us, and we don't actually rationalize the information that's presented to us, right? So I try to kind of step back and I look, people send me stuff and I go through the website and I'll check it all out and I'll crunch the numbers. I'll do all of that stuff, and just to see, okay, what is the formula? What is the model? Are they making up stories? Oh, there's some looping going on and this and that. And if it's too complicated, okay, if it's too complicated, I don't want to be a part of it either. You understand me? Right? So it could be real, but it shouldn't be complicated that I can't explain it to somebody else. Well, how do you make money? I should be able to break it down nice and simple for people. I should be able to say, hey, you know what? You come in, you do this, you make that. It should be as simple as that. You come in, you do this, you make that. If it's not that simple, if I can't break it down like that, I don't want to do it. If I have to explain, well, there's this, and then there's this, and there's this, and if you have to do too complicated, folks. It has to be simple. Because a lot of times when it's complicated, it's because they're trying to hide something. Okay? It's because they're trying to hide something, right? Meaning the company. Okay? It really should be very, very simple. And you have to have transparency. Okay? It has to have transparency. Usually for me, since going forward, I have to be able to, and again, not everybody, right? Because you know how some of these companies work. If they feel that you're bringing a lot to the table, they'll, wine and dine you. The owner will come and talk to you and all these different things, right? Because they know, what your capability is, etc. Whereas, just a humble person coming in, they're like, no, we're not going to get the owner on the phone for you. No, you understand? So all you can do is to take in as much information as you can about that particular opportunity and see if it makes sense. Will it be long-term? I'm not looking for a quick fix. As desperate as people can be, you don't want a quick fix, because usually the quick fix is what's going to hurt you the most. Okay, so you want something that's going to be long-term. When I say long-term, not meaning it's going to take long-term to make the money. No, you should be able to make money right away, folks. Okay, you should be able to make money right away. But long-term, meaning the business has sustainability, has longevity, okay, based upon its model, okay, based upon its model. Right. So in a nutshell, that's what I would do. Okay.
Thank you. And Sister Kanla, can you take it over? We have another 5, maximum 7 minutes or so. If you have any question, please raise your hand. Put it in the chat.
I'm good for 7 minutes.
Okay, 7 minutes. So that's all we have. If you have any questions.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Patience, thank you so much. Brother Michael, oh my God, thank you for that inspirational, session. So much relatable. I am going to follow up with a question, which is what Sister Patience has also started, because the feedback we get now is, I am never going to join any business that tells me to bring 1, 2, 3, 4 people. I have done it in the past. How is this one going to be different? You talked about being able to be open to information before you make informed decisions, and be able to use, the leverage of time, being able to build a good team. That is what companies use to be able to succeed. But I believe most of us are not yet educated enough in that concept. So how can we be able to leverage what you're sharing with us today and be able to grow in our own businesses?
Sure. Well, this thing with referring other people and all of that stuff is because people don't understand that there's substance involved. Network marketing, affiliate marketing, whatever name you want to give it, is responsible for more millionaires than any other industry that you can think of. Okay, that's factual, folks. Okay, that's factual. And the reason is simple. It's because of what I talked about, leveraging time. Okay, that's the number one reason. Okay, again, when I trade Forex, I use leverage to my benefit. I will not trade under 500 to 1 leverage. Okay, which just simply means that for every $1 in my account, I control 500. Okay, that is very, very powerful, folks. But it's a double-edged sword. Okay, the same way it can maximize my returns, it's the same way it can maximize my loss. So you have to be able to use it wisely. Okay, and so the same thing goes with affiliate marketing and stuff like that when it comes to people, right? I want to be engaged in something that people can find value in. If there's no value, it's very difficult for people to look at it. In other words, will someone do this business even if they weren't getting paid to do it? Right? Will they do it? Right? Will they do the business even if they weren't getting paid? Okay. And so, there are those businesses out there. For example, right? I'm aware of a company that sells a product that over 16,000 athletes actually use. Okay. So these are athletes. So they're not out there trying to build no business or whatever, but they're using the product. Okay. And not just athletes, but I'm just using that because we all know athletes. So whether it's NHL players, whether it's NFL players, whether it's mixed martial art, you know what I mean? And the list goes on, that are actually documented that they are. This is not some hearsay thing. These people are actually using this particular product. Okay. And so if I'm marketing something like that, I know people are going to get involved because they're going to do it whether they're making money from it or not. Okay. If I can offer something to someone whereby they see that, wow, okay, there's no risk here. I will get some sort of benefit regardless, you understand, just by me being involved. Again, that makes sense. People will take a look at that. So it all depends on what it is that you're offering people. Then there's the model itself. Okay, do I have to go get 20 people, right? Or am I only have to get 2? Okay, now which is easier, to get 20 or to get 2? You understand? So the model is important as well. Okay, will I be alone? Will I have to be doing this all by myself? Will I get help? Will there be assistance? What is the system that you're utilizing that's going to ensure my success? So there has to be a system. It can't just be, hey, get in here and go find 15 people, go find 20 people, and you're kind of on your own to do that. It's not going to work. You're not going to succeed. Okay. And I'll give you a quick scenario, right? I think this should drive the point home. Okay. So let's suppose I'm able to go out there and I get 30 people myself. Okay. Again, very few people can do that, right? We know that. That's factual. Okay. But let's suppose I can go and I can get 30 people myself to join this business. Okay. Any business. Okay. So I go get those 30 people. Usually I'm the only one that's going to make money from that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm the only one. Okay. That's scenario A. Scenario B, same 30 people, but this time the company says, well, you know what? All you have to do is really refer 2 others. Okay. And if you do that, you'll be able to be compensated. So now I come in and I go refer the same 30 people, but this time I'm going to be smart about it because I want my team to benefit. I want them to make money, not just me.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'll go with option A. So I go with option B by saying, you know what? I'm just going to use, my referral link, my ID number, my whatever, and register these 2 people, and then I'm going to help those 2 by saying, you know what? I still have 28 more. You know what? Here, Tom, here, Susie, you get to register these two. And as I do that, still same 30 people, but this time 14 of them gonna make money. You understand? Instead of only one with option A, where I'm the only one making money. So it all depends on what the model is. You understand? It makes a massive difference. Okay, because people want to feel secure. People want to realize that, you know what, I'm not going to be myself. I'm actually going to receive real help, right? Not that I'm going to come in and do nothing at all, right? That's not it. But I'm going to put effort into it. And if by chance, right, if by chance my effort wasn't sufficient, okay, there's help there, you understand me, to help boost me up and so on. So it depends on the model. So I think when people understand that it's a viable vehicle for them to get to their financial destination, and the model is based upon teamwork, right, as opposed to, you know, one person making all the money, etc. So it all depends. And even the compensation plan has designed whereby it can put money in people's pocket like right away. Not that they have to go build, 30 people first before they make any money, or get 10 or 15 or whatever first. None of that stuff. It has to make sense. It has to make sense, folks. You understand me? And then if that be, listen, people have to realize that, yes, it is real, folks. It is real that you can actually make $15,000 a day, not a month, okay? Not a year, a day. There are people on this planet that if they got, if they got 15,
this world, I want it all if I could.
Right? If they got $15,000, if they got $15,000 for the entire year, they would be happy. They'll be ecstatic. Yeah. I know there's some folks in the Caribbean that make $7,000 a year. That's it. And we're talking about 15,000 a day. So not to make this sound hypey, folks, here's the thing. What if they just generate 10% of that? So instead of 15,000 daily, they make 1,500. 1,500, folks, that's $45,000 per month. That's just 10%. Okay, let's even break it down even lower than that. What if 1%? What if 1% of that 15? That's $150 a day, which is $4,500 a month. That's just 1%. The point is, if you have something that is real, if you have something that's going to make a difference in people's lives, if you have something that people can know and trust and believe in, then you really have something that's going to make a difference in their lives. That's what people just want, to have a real chance, a realistic chance, not fables, not stories, not hype, not deception. They want something that is real, and it's out there, folks. But you have to be open, though. If you're closed like this, if I'm trying to give you some money and your hands is closed, like how you gonna receive the money? You have to open your hand, right, to receive it. Okay.
Absolutely.
So we have things that can help people. You understand me? Get to their. Listen, it is what it is. We lost 7 years. It's okay. We don't need to be mad and raising arms and pitchforks, and it's okay. What we simply do is, okay, you know what? How do we recoup? How do we move forward to help ourselves and our family? Because we need the help. It's not like we don't need it. We all, including myself, we all, I spent over $1 million, folks, over the past 7 years. That's what I spent. That's what it costs to run my household over 7 years. Just divide the number and do the math. I'm being truthful to you. You understand me? Where did that money come from? We had to use up our resources because we're, so focused, so loyal, all of these things. But it has to reach a point where he says, you know what? Enough is enough. If I continue to do this, I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be on the street. Going to be on the street, folks. So when somebody's telling you that, well, we're going to kick you out or cut you off or whatever the case may be because you decide to go do something to help yourself and your family, are you kidding me? Where is the love? Where is the love for humanity? Where is the love for your fellow human being? Where is that? People have to do what they have to do. It's just that simple. And if people think otherwise, then they are crazy. They need to be in an asylum. Okay? You understand? It's as simple as that, folks. Anyways, don't get me started. Don't get me excited. Okay? I already overspent my time. I'll take one more if you have one more.
Oh, thank you, Brother Michael.
There's a question on chat, so let me go ahead because this person has been waiting. So they say, great indeed. The name is Idon Dongide. Do you have anything like a training program for business like affiliate marketing or for any similar business? And someone else said, I want to join up. Are you talking about a program available at this minute, Michael, or in general? What are you saying?
The person that said want to join, I was trying to reply them privately.
Okay, Dr. Patience. Okay.
I was trying to reply them privately, but I can't find the chat.
Okay,
DM me,
okay.
my WhatsApp number is there, and I will direct you where my case.
Sure.
Okay.
So yeah, I leave that to all you guys. I'm just
all
here
right.
to
Thank you.
deliver my
Thank you.
message and
Thank
then
you.
leave. Okay.
Yes.
And then go from there. But just again, folks, just understand. Okay. Don't get bamboozled. Okay. Don't get hoodwinked. Okay. God has given you a brain for you to be able to use it. Sometimes things get the best of us, and that's okay. Listen, Bernie Madoff scammed billionaires.
Billions. Yes.
Billionaires.
Yes, he
People
did.
that
Successfully over years.
Over years.
Right. 18 years. You understand? And when it all said and done, guess what? It wasn't real. It was all fake. It was all lies. It was all deception. And these are people who have, the best accountants in the world, the best lawyers in the world, the best investment advisors in the world, and yet they got scammed. So don't, because I know it's painful. It's painful for people to accept the fact that, oh my gosh, I was scammed. Oh wow, I didn't. It's painful. So people would rather just keep holding on, hoping, instead of saying, you know what, let me just cut the umbilical cord and just move on, because you know what, if I don't cut it, I will not be open to things that can actually help me. Okay. And so so don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. You know what I mean? I'm hurt. I'm disappointed, but I don't feel bad that, oh my gosh, I can't believe I fell for that. Folks, it's okay. We just have to move forward. Okay. And be open. And we're not saying that you have to walk away from anything. Hey, continue doing what you're doing, but be open to multiple income streams. Be open to it. All right. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Brother Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think this will be a good point to let him go. I know he has other things to do. And we'll talk about our mindset after this. I think it will really move after this. I'm sure our sister is ready. Brother Michael, thank you. And
thank you.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I've put the link. We were live on YouTube. Please, he gave us a lot of information on multiple stream of income. Go back and rewatch it. So take notes, and thank you, Brother Michael.
Let me take my leave, all right? Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, wow. And if anybody invited you to this meeting today, like it was a private invite from anybody, and you want to know what Brother Michael is talking about, reach out to that person. If you came into the sharing that we put in all our WhatsApp group, reach out to any of the Dream Team leaders. I put my number on the WhatsApp, on the chat, if you want to know what he is doing. It's not an invitation, but I'm just saying that if you want to know what he's doing, reach out to the Dream Team leaders and they'll direct you. But multiple stream of income.
Yeah.
A lot of us, we were tunnel vision, we had our heart and soul, and now we are in the point that we are one paycheck away to be out on the street.
Yeah.
Put our soul in there. We put our hard-earned resources inside. Okay. We spent thousands of dollars. This is not a joke. A lot of us did.
Yes.
And we are still here having hope. Because where there's hope, where there's life, there's hope.
Amen.
So multiple stream of income. I have a skill that I can make money, and I've been lazy. A lot of people are looking for math tutor. Why am I not doing that?
There you go.
Why am I not doing that?
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
I was paying somebody $75 an hour to tutor my daughter.
Yeah.
Not because I couldn't tutor her, because sometimes if you're teaching your own.
Oh yes, yes.
And I was too hard on her.
Yeah.
And I back off and paid somebody $75 per hour to tutor her. And I sit here and I cannot do that. I make money for myself.
You can.
Got me, because I just narrow focus on my job. Right? And people keep saying, oh, affiliate marketing. Your job is an affiliate marketing. You are what? You are
one paycheck away.
You have level up people. It's a ladder.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's a ladder. Every organization is a ladder. Everything is subscription. We subscribe to Zoom. The
Yeah.
difference is that we're subscribing and making no money.
Yeah, exactly.
We subscribe to, I don't know, us here in America, we have like Sam Club, BJ's,
Yes, all
Costco. We
of them.
subscribe to that
Yes,
just so that we can have discount on
sure.
food, stuff, or
Exactly.
something. We're
Yeah.
not making any money from it, right? So there's a lot of subscription.
A lot.
We subscribe for Amazon Prime to have our goods come out fast. But we're not
Yes,
making any
our
money.
internet services, we pay those things.
Exactly.
Come on.
Our phone bills we subscribe
Yes,
to.
Shelley,
And
if you
somebody
don't-
said, I can't do anything that is subscription. Our current business, most of us was in it. It was a subscription-based business.
There you go.
It's supposed to have been a subscription-based business.
Yes.
Because
yes.
you have to spend money to make
To
money.
make money.
That's
Yeah.
the bottom line. It's just that somebody has taken that heavy capital, like
Yeah.
McDonald's. It's a chain, it's franchise to pay, right? But somebody initially took the heavy load to start it up.
Exactly.
So now when you're coming to tap into that platform onto that, you have to do something.
Yep.
You have to bring something. You have to bring your time.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's what
let me
Michael
know-
was talking about, the leveraging. You have to leverage. Yes,
so let me
absolutely.
not sit here because I need my mind fit today as well.
Yeah.
That's my sister. Please, I hope you're in. I need my mind. After this, I need to fit the mind because, as I said, I was in church today, and the sermon, I was just like, Sister Yvonne, that's put the right thought in our head.
Yes, I'm glad.
Remove the negative one. Sister Lerato Shadare, are you ready, my sis?
So tired, sis. I was listening to Brother
I
Michael.
know
and
you're tired. Sorry.
exhausted.
We
And
need our
too
mind
long
fit. After this, fit our mind, sis. Fit our mind.
I don't know. I'll just say a few things because Brother Michael actually touched on the points that I wanted to say. He spoke about not giving up. No matter what happens in life, we don't give up because we go through one hurdle or a couple of hurdles and we give up. We can't give up. We have to always be prepared to adjust and move on and gather the knowledge that we have or whatever experience that we had and use it for the positive instead of giving up. If many people had given up, we have always mentioned Edison because it blows my mind that he tried 999 times. Now, 1,000 times, when he tried for the 1,000 times, then we have light bulbs, right? There are many people who tried so many times and they didn't give up. And some people will give up at the edge of their success. Other story that broke my heart was Kimberly Mines. The story of that guy, if you have time, just Google it. The family actually wanted to, I think they found a diamond on the surface or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm just paraphrasing now. But they actually sold the land off, and that land became one of the biggest mines in South Africa. And whoever bought that land for not even nearly half or a quarter of what he got paid for made billions and billions out of that mine. It's one of the biggest mine sites in South Africa, right? But the owner of that land had given up. The owner of that land didn't want to mine that land. He didn't even know that there was such a wealth of diamonds in that land. So you can imagine, put yourself in their shoes or put yourself in that situation, because hearing a story and not involving yourself in that story, it's so, things can just get over your head. So can you imagine yourself if you're in that opportunity and then you decide to give up and sell somebody land that will become one of the largest mines, diamond mines in the world, which is the Kimberley mine, and you sold it for not even half of what it's worth, right? So giving up is a tricky thing to do. But like he said, that we have to also pray for wisdom and apply wisdom in everything that we do, but we cannot allow ourselves to give up. Right. I know myself, and basically this is what I was going to talk about today. I was going to talk about just being able to move on even when we're uncertain, because life sometimes can be very uncertain. You would plan things like, I remember when I was younger, I'm not old, but when I was younger, we think we had everything figured out in our 20s, right? You go, you choose your major, you study, you do all these things, and we think life turns out exactly how we plan it. You plan, like what my brother Michael said is like, we can go to university, but when you look, it's important. Right? Our education is also important, but when you look at some of the billionaires or people who are making it, or people who have this certain kind of wealth in this world, some of them will tell you that they didn't even they were not in a classroom, or they didn't finish their education, whatnot, right? Because I personally, I mean, everybody has their personal opinion about education, but I personally believe that the education system right now is set up for us to think only linear. You have to think within a specific box, because the system is created to make people to work. It wants workers. They don't want entrepreneurs or free thinkers. They want people who will be working in their mind to enrich them. This is what I believe, right? But I'm not saying education is not important, but I'm saying that even within the confines of education, you always have to have an open mind and be a free thinker and think outside the box. And this is what I'm teaching my children. I always tell them, don't tell me that you want to be you have to always think outside the box. Think, okay, how can I contribute to society? How can I be something that will benefit society? Because this is how you then step into your purpose and step into better things. But don't think within the boxes, just the confinements of just one thing. Think outside the box. So I teach them that. So it's good that Brother Michael came and mentioned some points that I had in mind before I got uber exhausted, but I'm here. And one of them was hope and faith. For me today, I wanted to speak about hope, to say that there's nothing, even in our, we talk a lot about the spirituality of prosperity, that we cannot acquire prosperity and sit in wealth when we don't have hope, when we don't have faith. All these things, there are laws of prosperity, and these laws of prosperity require you to be in a certain frequency. You cannot be in that frequency of wealth when you're not in faith and when you're not in hope. Right? When you are, I always say that the emotion of fear is one of the low vibrational emotions that you can ever be. If you dwell in fear, you are vibrating very, very, very low. Right? So, but when you speak, that's why also the Bible, what I believe in, the Bible always stresses faith, to say that you cannot please God without faith. That means you cannot be in a certain frequency. You cannot be in agreement with everything good when you are operating in fear. And fear, of course, goes with things like, being, fearful, being not having faith, doubt, and all these things. They're all together. Birds of the same feather flock together, right? So now, we have to push ourselves, that even if we are not certain and uncertainty comes into our lives, we cannot allow fear to creep in, right? Only faith and no fear. We have to we can be in that emotion for 2 seconds, but we cannot dwell there. We cannot dwell in fear. And this is also what my brother Michael was stressing here. Is like, guys, you cannot operate in fear. He was even making jokes about his own fear of bridges, to say, he's afraid of bridges and this and that and that. But then when time comes for him to confront that fear, and he has to do what he needs to do, then he gets out himself. He pushes fear out of the way, and he does what he's supposed to do, right? So we have to have faith over fear, even if we're uncertain. And I feel like we're in a period, I mean, last week when I was talking to everyone, I said, guys, when we look at the year, what seeds have we been planting? Have we been planting the seeds of fear, the seeds of doubt? What have we been planting in this time, the whole year? When we look back, what is it that we've been planting? Because if we've been planting fear, we cannot expect to get miracles and prosperity. If we've been planting doubt, we cannot do that, guys. I said that lion doesn't give birth to a goat, right? So if you are planting faith and you're planting these things, and we are standing firm in that belief of wholeness, in that belief of we are agreeing with good, of course the manifestation then will be good. Manifestation will be good, even if we might not be seeing it right now, and we are putting in the seeds. Surely the what do you call it? It has to come up. Our seeds have to sprout. Something has to sprout. Something has to germinate and sprout up from the seeds that we've been planting, right? And there's one thing about seed. When you plant the seed, you don't always go and remove the soil and check if it's growing. You just put it inside there, you water it, you wait for it to sprout up. And that period of waiting, you're doing everything that is possible to make sure that it gets the best environment to grow, which is you putting water on it, You're checking it, you're making sure that it doesn't dry up, but you don't go removing the soil and digging it up every time to see if anything is happening, right? But something is happening. So all the seeds of faith that we've been planting, me talking about the prosperity and saying, guys, we have to change our minds. Our mindset have to be a mindset of prosperity and wealth. We have to agree with God. We have to agree with good. All these things, when you're faced with, how you speak to yourself. This is another thing that I wanted to mention, to say our self-talk, the things that we say with our tongues. Your tongue is also a seed. How you speak to yourself is like you're planting seeds in the atmosphere, in the air. The air listens, the earth listens. This is another thing that people don't understand, that we live in a vibrational world. Everything is vibrational. So when you speak, you are planting seeds in the air, in the soil, in everything. All the elements, they have ears, they're listening to you. And your tongue is one thing that can actually push you to success, or that can actually, bring doom to you. It says that our words, we are snared by the words of our mouth. So as we speak on things, they become life. That means our words are very powerful. So what words have you been speaking in the atmosphere? What have you been speaking? Even your inner dialogue. What do you say to yourself silently within yourself? Because you're a spiritual being. So what do you speak to yourself within yourself? How do you speak about yourself? Do you say something with your mouth, and then in the next minute you say something, or you say faith, but then in the next second you are just doubting? What is it? What is your inner dialogue like? What is your inner dialogue like? All these things count, guys. So we're coming to the end of the year, and we have to evaluate everything to say, okay, I mean, things happen in life. My brother Michael was saying that, for him, all of us, he invested in one thing for a long time, and he decided, no, he's going to change his mind. He has to put his effort somewhere else. Right? But I don't see him, even if he's speaking like that, I don't hear him saying that, okay, failure, complete failure, oh, doom and gloom. No. He said, guys, we have to now rebrand. You have to think in other ways. Don't think only linear. Think of other possibilities, because we don't know where really our success is. That's God's business. But we have to do the job of changing our minds and preparing our atmosphere, preparing everything to be able to handle that success, our wealth and everything. We don't know where it's going to come from. That's God's business. But we have to stay prepared. We have to prepare our spirit. We have to prepare our mind and our environment, that when that wealth comes, it lands in a proper environment, and it grows and germinates and it becomes something bigger. Right? So we cannot be here at doom and gloom, even if we are uncertain. So what I'm driving here is that whatever that we do, no matter how life turns out, we cannot let those things affect us and now change our how do I say, and change our beingness, and change us to those people now who don't have faith, people who are just doom and gloom. We cannot do that. We cannot allow that to happen, because then we're cutting the process of actually reaching where we want to go. We're cutting the process of our success. It's like we're making a U-turn in the middle of the road to getting to there, that place called there. So whatever we do, let's check our faith meter, check your hope meter, everything that agrees with the laws of success and prosperity. Because I said last time that prosperity has laws, like we have the laws of gravity, like we have laws that are governing the universe. There are laws of prosperity, right? And all those laws of there's other laws that come together with the laws of prosperity, and it goes together. Right? And hope is one of those laws. When you have faith and you have hope, all those things go together. Right? We can be downcasted for 2 seconds, for 1 second, but we cannot allow ourselves to dwell in low vibrations. We always have to pick ourselves up and say, okay, fine. My goal is success. I'm not changing the address on the navigation. Remember last week I made an illustration to say we put our address and we want to go there to a place. We might deviate for 2 seconds. We might, be off course for a second, but we are not changing the address. We will get there. We will get there. But here, our mind, our beingness has to be centered around that spirit of prosperity, of success. We have to agree with good. If something happens, 80% of our times, even if we were not feeling well, or we are disappointed, or whatever that might be happening, or no, we are uncertain, we cannot dwell in that for too long. We always have to dust ourselves up again and move. There's a song that I like very much. It said, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You cannot sit there at that place where you fell off and just sit there and dwell there and build a house there. You can't. You can't build a house there and just sit there. Now this is your permanent place. No. Allow yourself the time to get over your emotions, to get over the disappointment, but then the address on your Navi doesn't change. The place called there that we're all getting, which is our prosperity, which it doesn't change. But God has other ways to be able to take us where we need to go. That's his business. But when we are set and we know for sure that we are getting there because our speech is aligning with where we're going, our mindset is aligning with where we're going, our spirit is in alignment and is agreeing with God, we are definitely going to get there. We're definitely going to get there, right? So let's check those things, guys. Let's check ourselves. Let's check our belief meter, our hope meter, our faith meter, and keep on fueling it. Let's fuel ourselves and make sure that we put in ourselves what agrees with good, even in moments of uncertainty, right? Everything is good, guys. At the end of the day, everything that we put in ourselves, it has to germinate and come outside. Our faith has to show at some point. Our hope has to show. It has to manifest. And it will manifest surely, because there is a season for everything. There's a season for planting and there's a season for harvesting. And I believe most of us are very close to our harvesting because we did the job. We did the weight. We pulled the weight. And for me, what is even more exciting is because I believe in God. What he says, it is so. So when he says that for those who believe, who have faith, for those who are in alignment, surely nothing shall be impossible. I believe that. I believe that, and I'm not wavering. I'm not wavering. I decided I'm agreeing with prosperity. I'm agreeing with health. I'm agreeing with wealth. I'm agreeing with wholeness. I do everything that supports that. If it means I meditate a little bit longer in the word or I sit with the material that is encouraging. I put on movies that encourage me, or I read books that supports that message. Then I'm gonna immerse myself in that material so that my whole energy is about that. And surely it will manifest. There's no other way. There's no other way. It has to manifest because I'm in that vibration. I'm in that vibration of wholeness, of prosperity, of wealth, right? And like I said also last week, that wealth doesn't have to come one way. For example, small miracles have been happening, or beautiful things have been happening in my life that I didn't even expect, right? One minute I'll be thinking, I'm so tired, I need a spa. One of my friends yesterday, we had 2 shows. Like we were doing, I was doing a contract for a mall, a very big mall here, and they wanted a Christmas whatever. So I had to put together the entertainment for Christmas and deliver a Christmas a gospel show, right? So put together the entertainment. And I was so tired mentally, not even physically, because it takes a lot of mental to prepare things like that. And I'm not doing one thing, I'm doing different projects at the same time. So in my mind, I was like, oh, it would be nice to have some spa, something relaxing. And there's this spa in my area is a very nice spa, but it's you have to give good money for that kind of spa. But in my mind, I was thinking, yes, of course, I'm gonna do it. But I was like, it would be nice to go to a spa. What do I get when I get home? I check my pocket. What did they slip into my pocket? They slipped me the spa treatment. Though I'm gonna get different things at the spa. They paid for different treatments and everything. I'm like, and I only spoke it to myself, but I get home and I check my pocket, what I was thinking about and what I was longing for, that desire. Somebody gave it to me without me having to do anything. Right? Small miracles, or I'll be thinking, oh my God, I don't want to drive too long before I get, sometimes I'll be late. I don't want to drive too long before I find parking, because in Europe, I don't know what's up with them. They built Europe and they never thought about parking. They never, yes, thank you, sis, yes. They never thought about parking. Parking in Europe, especially in Germany, is like gold. Okay. So sometimes I'll be going somewhere. I'm like, oh God, please let there be parking. Let me find parking or whatever. And then out of the blue, I'll be coming into that street. Somebody else will move out. And then right where I am, somebody will move out and I'll be able to park my car without any drama, because I was speaking about that and I was thinking about that and I was already thanking God for it. And then I don't have to make an effort. Parking will be there. And I'll be so grateful at gratitude for even, things that we don't even consider that it's actually wealth, or it's a blessing, or it's favor, right? So those small things that make big things. And when we start, acknowledging and being grateful for changes that we see, when we change our mindset, we change our attitude, we agree with good things will start coming, even things that we think are small or things that we think that don't make significant change in our life. Like for me, finding an easy parking, it removes stress, right? And I'm able to get where I'm supposed to get on time. That is a blessing for me, because then I'm not stressed before I get to where I'm going. It's very, very, it might look like something small, but the effects of that are huge. Removing stress from my day, removing worry, it's a huge thing. Right? So when you agree with good and you agree with God and you align yourself mentally, spiritually, and you don't let uncertainty, disappointment, and everything steal that from you, the light from you, guys, we are surely going to get to our destination. I don't care what happens, we are going to get there. That place called there, we're going to get there. So, and all these beautiful things, small things that we think are small, are going to, start attracting even other bigger things that we're looking for, or our bigger desires will be answered and they'll be catered to without even us, doing much. Because already God is doing the heavy lifting for us. All we need to do is to be in alignment. Brother Michael said that he doesn't even have to do anything. All the relationships that he was looking for, it was just right there. His friend from university owns a company that he didn't even know they own, but he got to find out that this person, they went to the same university. He didn't have to go and hustle and look for them and beg. No, those opportunities came looking for him, because what we desire is actually desiring us. But we cannot be open to that if our mindset and our energy is not aligned with it. Right? So let's just reflect back, guys, and if we didn't do what we were supposed to do, if we didn't believe right this year, if we didn't have faith right, whatever, we have another opportunity. Like I always say, that another day is, for me, is another opportunity to choose better and to do better, right? And like I said, we have another opportunity. And by the way, I know Dr. Ben is not here. I just want to thank God for this opportunity and for this day. And we are all blessed here, guys. We are all blessed here. And we always have to remember that when we have life, we are blessed, because then we are alive to make a difference, to make different choices, and to be a better version of ourselves. So we can never, ever allow uncertainty, fear, our faith over fear or disappointment to take us off course. And we cannot camp at that place of our disappointment. We cannot choose to stay there and build houses. We have to move on and do what needs to be done, so that we can get to our destination, which is prosperous life, an abundant life, and a full life, and we add good to this world. Thank you so much. In case somebody didn't tell you that they love you, guys, I want to tell you I love you so much. And yeah, that's it for me for today. That's all I could put in this moments that you gave me.
Thank you,
you.
Sister Lerato.
Wow.
Lovely.
Oh my gosh. How are we going to compartmentalize this so much?
No, it is already there. As I said, I've put the link on the YouTube channels there. You can go rewind it, slow it down, play it at half the speed so you can follow. And this has been a Sunday and a half.
Oh yeah.
And I said I will step into the new month with my grace. I will
Yeah.
step in the new month and collect what belongs to me. And
claim
today, you
it.
guys have spoken it,
We'll
and I'm
claim
claiming
it.
it, whatever
Yes.
that English is. So let's step in the new month with our what belongs to us. Let's step into the new year. Let's end this year.
Yeah.
Let this year not be not another year. Let's end this year with the grace that will carry us to the next year, because all of us are going to go to the next year. Nothing broken, nothing
Amen.
missing.
Amen.
Yes.
Nothing broken, nothing missing.
We have to have an attitude of gratitude, my dear. That's it.
Yes.
That's what we're going to step into the new year with.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Gratitude opens so many doors, both spiritually and physically. It's a door
Hallelujah.
opener. It's a door opener. Thank you.
I think we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
So we can quickly, Gym Team Leaders, just 5 minutes. And for those that are part of the multiple stream, I think there's a meeting at 3 o'clock. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You guys can go join that meeting. But what can I say? I'll just leave it at that. The speakers today have said everything.
They have, yes.
mindset with head, right?
Yes.
Compounding effort, compounding interest.
Mm-hmm.
Surround yourself with the people that have the same goals like you to uplift humanity.
Yes.
So let's pray that financial scarcity or the fear of financial scarcity will not be our portion in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
And the good book says that if us wicked people can give what our children want, what about our Lord that owns everything? If we seek him
Amen.
first and not
Yes.
everything will be given to us. I'm going to use that as my prophetic word as I
Mm-hmm.
live today, and I'll keep everything in God's hand. You see, as
Yes.
businesses have found people, not people go and found them.
Hey, there you go.
So these things happen.
Yes.
So before we go, I want just to remind you guys, we like to work on the mind because this mind is a very kind of powerful thing, right?
Yes.
And that's why you see a lot in the Bible, they say, cast your anxiety off me, bring your burden unto me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did not give you the spirit of fear and timidity because the mind is tricky.
Yes, it
So
is.
if you want to continue feeding your mind, join the other sister platform that concentrate on that as well. You have
Yes.
Mindset Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have Deep Dive Globally Changing Life,
Mm-hmm.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have the Event Draw live on Wednesdays and Friday. The other days they're not live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Please, if you are looking to where to uplift children, don't forget to join our sisters, the Evans.
Thank you, sister.
And just here. Then we have All Passion. If you need passion, join them at 9 o'clock, at least 9 or 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. So without further ado, I will just go, let me do this. We haven't done this for a while. Oh my goodness. Zoom has changed a lot of things, you know. Things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Hey, Jesus. Let me find. Yeah. All right. We can all unmute ourselves that we are going to do great things together in one love. Everybody unmute yourself and say what they want to say for 1 minute, and we will close.
So we are going to do great things together in one love. Is that what we're saying?
One love,
Yes,
my dear.
One love.
One love.
Amen.
One love.
Yep.
Yes,
One love.
We are
love.
going to do great
Great
things
things
together.
In one love.
One love.
One love. We are going to
Love
do
it.
everything together. One love.
I like what Michael says, do not win alone. So when we sang that song, in it to win, it means we are winning together. Not win alone. So see you all next week, same time. No. Dream Team doesn't have a webinar next week. We have decided that we've earned the privilege, the Dream Team coordinator, to take a Sunday off to be with our family.
Yes.
Next week is American Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all the people that are in the US. And Dream Team is going to take that weekend to spend time with family that is going to come and spend Thanksgiving with us. And we're going to send that out. There will be no meeting next Sunday. And we will come.
Okay.
We will resume the following week. So please do not forget that.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Before I forget, please say your love out.
Patrice.
Our love
Bye,
out to
Jeanette.
before I forget, our love out to our queen, Dr. Benny, that is not with us today. Let's pray for speedy recovery for her. And let's keep sending our love to our brother, Dr. Derek, which has been busy all Sundays. That's why you're not seeing him. So shout out to Dr. Benny for speedy recovery. All right, then. Bye-bye. I love you guys.
All right. Bye, Nadine. Bye, Rosalie.